holding our shins, massaging out our back a bit. All right, and then we're gonna come on up and it's time to grab the band. We're gonna do a little band work here. So put your band around your thighs. The further up you put it, the harder it's gonna be. So just keep that in mind, and if you need to take the band off at all, feel free to do that. So we're gonna come lying on our right side here. So lie on your right side, stack your hips on top of each other. You can pretend almost as if you're sitting on a chair on the ground. So keep your legs at 90 degrees. And then you can either lie down on your forearm here, or you can put your hand in your head, whatever works best for you. And then feel free to make sure to draw in that core and suck up your side oblique. It's going to be working your oblique and your glutes here. So we're just going to start by lifting and lowering that leg. So lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. If you need to take off that band, you can do that too. Lower, lift, lower for 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're gonna keep that leg lifted, and then we're just gonna kick our leg out. Keep your foot flexed, and then bring it back in, and we're just gonna keep that leg up as you kick in and out here. And draw it back in, kick it out, draw it back in, kick it out. A little Beyonce, girls. For 3, 2, you want to get a Beyonce booty here. 1. All right, now keep that leg out. Keep your foot flexed. We're going to draw it back, and then we're going to point our toes and bring it forward. Flex your foot, draw it back. Point your toes, bring it forward. Pretend almost as if we're painting a straight line here. So flex your foot, bring it back, point your toes, bring it forward. For 5, 4. Dana, that looks great. Look at you, you're painting a beautiful picture. Alright, flex it back, point it forward. For 2. 1. Alright, now we're going to bring the legs back together, and we're just going to do some plans here. So open up that top leg, keep those ankles connected, and bring it back up. Make sure to keep engaging that core and drawing that hip up as you're doing this. For 3, 2, 1. On this one, we're just going to hold open here. We're just going to pulse up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now close the legs back together. We're going to open that leg, and we're going to tap our heels together, and then we're going to close our leg. So open that top leg straight up, close the heels together, and then drop the span back together. So lift up, keep your leg parallel, and then close, put the ankles back together and drop it down here. So lift, put the ankles back together and drop it. Lift straight up, ankles together, and close it. We have 3 more of these. Lift the top leg, ankles together, drop it, lift it, ankles together, close. 1 more, lift, ankles together, close. And then we're just going to keep our leg in parallel together, and we're just going to pulse it up. Last little work on the side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, put that leg down for a second. Feel free to pat it out. Feel free to massage it out a little bit. I feel like my hip always gets a little cramped up here. Alrighty. Now we're going to come on to our backs again. Put your feet on your mat. You can feel free to just windshield wiper out those hips really quickly. I'm sure. How's everyone's glutes feeling?
Great.
Great? Good?
Juicy.
I'm very impressed by you, Katie.
Hey.
2 workouts in a day. All right, we're going to keep that band on. If the band's too much, always feel free to take it off. We're going to get into some glute bridges. But let's just make sure that your core is engaged here and that your spine is in neutral. You don't want to be overextending your spine, so make sure there's no massive gap under where your spine is. And you also don't want to be pressing too firm down into the mat. You want to just keep it in neutral. And then you want to make sure you're keeping some tension in the bands here. So your legs are about shoulder distance width apart. And we're going to inhale and then exhale as we lift. Squeeze our glutes at the top. And then we're going to inhale, bring it down. Exhale, squeeze it up. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, bring it up. Again, make sure you're keeping that tension in the band here. And then also just make sure to keep that pelvis stable. We want to pretend almost as if we're balancing a tray on our pelvis here. All right, make sure to keep squeezing for 3, 2, 1. All right, and then we're gonna hold at the top again. Make sure everyone squeeze on up at the top. We're gonna hold here. If you need to drop down at all, feel free to do that. But again, pretend like you're balancing a tray on your pelvis here. And we're gonna lift our right leg up, keep our foot flexed. And then we're gonna drop it back down. So lift that right leg, keep it flexed. You're really gonna be feeling that work in your outer glutes here. Lift it up and drop it down for 5, 4, 3, 2. Feel free to dump it down at all if you need it, but you got this, ladies. 1. All right, now keep it holding, keep it holding. We're gonna do the left side now. So bring the left foot up, flex that foot, bring it back down. Engage that core. Lift and lower. About 5 more of these. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and stay on up in that glute bridge again. Keep that tension in the band. If you need to take them off, feel free to. Pretend as if you're balancing that tray on your pelvis, and we're just gonna pulse our legs out and in, out, in, out, in. You can make it a little slower if you want. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, stay up in that bridge here, and we're gonna come up on our toes. So lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. For 5, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. 2, 1. All right, now we're gonna combine it all together. So come back down onto your mat. We're gonna lift up into that glute bridge. Then we're gonna open our legs. Then we're gonna close them, and then we're gonna lift our heels. And then we're gonna drop our feet and drop our back down to our mat here. So lift, open, close, lift your heels. Drop your feet back down, drop down to the mat. So pulse up, squeeze those glutes, open, close, lift, down, down. Up, open, close, lift, down, down. For 5, up, open, close, lift, down. You got this, ladies. Bring it all down. Lift, open, close. Bring it all down. Alrighty. Bring it all down, and then for 3, up, open, close, lift. And 2 more. 1 more. All right, and then final push here, just up on your heels. We're just gonna pulse up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, drop it all down onto the mat. Point those feet straight out. We're just gonna get into some reverse planks here. So again, keep that tension on the band whenever you want to. If you need to, take that band off. But we're just gonna come up seated on our sit bones here. We're gonna put our hands behind us. We're gonna point our fingertips out. We're gonna open up that chest here. And then we're gonna get into some reverse planks. So you're gonna pull your weight up from your hips and you're gonna point your toes when you do this. So just come on up and plank up and drop back down. And pulse it up. Almost like a little active recovery here. Engage that core. Push up through your hips. And really push into those shoulders. Get that. Just your little arm workout. Squeeze the glutes. For 3, 2, and 1. All right, and then bring it on down to the mat here. Let's roll out that back again. Squeeze the shins into your chest. Roll side to side. We're gonna keep that band on because we're gonna come on to our left side next. Roll out back. Alrighty. So come on up when you're ready. Again, if you need to, take that band off, you can. Okay. Same thing as the other side here. So stack your hips on top of each other. You can come laying down on your forearm. You can put your hand or your head into your hand. And then we're just gonna stack those hips on top of each other. Again, pretend like you're sitting in a chair on the ground. We want to draw in that core, scoop up that oblique here to really get the most out of this workout. And we're just gonna start lifting and lowering, lifting straight up, not the clams yet. And you can put your hand in front of you or on your hip here, but we're just gonna lift our legs straight up and down, up, and down, up, down, for 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're gonna kick that leg out, keep your foot flexed, and bring it back in. Kick your foot out, bring it back in, kick it out, bring it back in, kick it out, bring it back in. For 4. How's everyone doing? 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're gonna draw that line here. So keep that foot flexed. We're gonna push it back, and then we're gonna point our toe and bring it forward. Again, pretend like we're painting. Uh-oh, Carly, sorry. Flex the foot, point the toe, bring it forward. Everyone's looking good. Make sure you're drawing in that oblique. Flex the foot back, point the toe forward. We're painting a really pretty picture. All right. For 3, for 2, 1. All right, bring it all down here. We're gonna come into those clams here. So just start opening and closing. Open, close, open, close. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're just gonna pulse it on up, ladies. I'm just gonna come up and standing and see you, ladies. So just pulse those clams up. You got it, ladies. Pulse it. Just checking you guys out for 5. Looking good. 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're gonna lift that leg. We're gonna tap our heels together and then close the leg. So lift the leg, tap the heels together, and close the leg. You guys are looking good. Lift the leg, tap the heels. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're just gonna hold our legs up. Make sure you're keeping that bottom leg forward a little bit. Yeah, that's awesome. And then just hold the legs up and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and drop down. Good job, ladies. Feel free to just pump out those hips a bit. You're looking good. Woo. All right, that's it for our glute work for now. All right, so next we're gonna get into our final little core push here. You guys can take your bands off now. All right. Okay. All right.